Good morning. It's been a while since we were on the road. It's an hour's drive to where we are going, but it almost feels like a road trip after so many months of not going anywhere in lockdown. I'm going to see a friend of mine who I haven't seen for years. She has an old Macintosh computer, so that's great. She saw my YouTube channel, and she thought of me to get this Macintosh, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Yeah, me too. So let's see what she has. I'm going to see a friend of mine. She has an old Macintosh computer. As you can see, it really paid off. She had not only a nice Performa and the accompanying Performa display, but it's all nice in box as well. So I'm very happy with that, and I will do the unpacking. Okay, so 2 boxes. I've got this official Apple Performa Plus display, and I guess the first one to open up is this one, the Macintosh Performa 450. It is the original box. Let's see what she put in there. Of course, it's not factory sealed. It was used, and she just repackaged this. So we have some paperwork at ease. I don't know. This seems like it belongs to the monitor. The Apple resource guide. We'll look at that later. And some cables. This is an Apple power cable. And another one.
It's stuck to the plastic.
It has seen some heat, I guess. It's stuck to the. Maybe
that's not a problem for using it, is it?
I hope not. I will get the fire extinguisher before we can. This is the getting started guide in Dutch. Claris Works guide. The Performa came with some software. I think Claris Works is from the software company Claris, and if I remember correctly, Apple bought that company at a certain point. So the Macintosh Essentials kit, I guess this is there should be some floppy disks, I didn't see those, so that's unfortunate. But maybe they are here. Okay, another heavy box, that's good. The heavier, the more there's inside.
So you have the Macintosh Essentials and the software Essentials.
Yeah. So you got, that is what they did. Performa models came with end-user software. So the Macintosh Essentials were, what it says, everything you need to set up and use your Macintosh computer. So the system disks and some cabling, I guess. While the software Essentials are end-user software, or originally end software. So this is the manual, Claris Works manual, the Performa Display guide, at ease guide, DOS file exchange, so that you could use MS-DOS formatted floppies. So here it is, a bit yellowed.
Except for where the monitor was.
Yeah,
you see the difference.
You could see where the monitor was put. So this is the, what they call the pizza box style case. But first let me show you this. the case itself. So it really needs some cleaning up. That's understandable. So a slot loading floppy drive, and that's it. So no CD. Then looking at the ports, what did you get? The power entry, of course, on off. This is the display port for the monitor. Two RS422 serial connections. They made one for the printer and one for a modem. Then here is an external SCSI connector to add SCSI devices like hard disks or zip drive or whatever. This is the Apple desktop bus, which is used for the connection of the keyboard and the mouse. The mouse is also missing in action. And sound output and sound input. So this Performa 450 model was kind of a budget model, low cost model. And they made exactly the same model also for educational purposes, and then they called it the LC3. You could very easily open it up, I remember, by lifting those lips at the end. And then you can see, for ESD purposes, all metal case. So what do we see inside? I see a memory module here. Originally it had 4 MB, expandable up to 36. So I guess it was expanded, doubled from 4 to 8. This is the processor, Motorola 68030. It's a 25 megahertz processor. Then here is the internal SCSI bus leading to the hard disk and the floppy disk we saw before. Here is the sound system, and this is the power. So it was really nicely serviceable. You could easily interchange stuff. At this time in the history of Apple, they didn't allow it before when you had the Mac Classic cases. It was very hard to open these up, and they don't allow it now with things like the iPhone, etc. But back then they allowed you to easily add memory, etc. So there is one expansion slot here. As you can see, there is like a dummy. Let me turn it over. So you could actually remove that from the case. And this is the PDS slot. So let me close it up, and it's just 2 clicks away. 2 simultaneous clicks. So that's the whole system. This is the original Apple cables, and they nicely labeled that with the Apple Desktop Bus logo, and of course the wiggly thing goes in the front. So I connect this to the Apple Desktop Bus connector here. You lay this here, and then, because this is a bus system, this is where you could plug in the mouse. Let's see if there are mice in this display box then. And I'm really hoping to find the mouse, not the real one, but the Apple mouse. And I'm hoping to find floppy disks, but you can never be sure. So this is bottom of this. So let me do this trick without hurting my back. Let me show you how to open an old CRT monitor case without hurting your back. Don't lift the display, but lift the box. So let me take this out of the plastic. Put it on its back here, and let's click in the stand. This is also very logical and easy. I remember this. So there are 6x2 how do you call them, hooks. So you put this, let's see, what's the front? Put it here, then you shift it tight slightly, so 1 centimeter towards the front, and then it clicks in place. I'm doing this all by heart. Remembering this from the 90s when I had the similar monitor. And this of course fits nicely on top. Now, I've shown you this connector at the back, so you know where I will plug it in. There's only one place where this fits, and then power cords. One goes to the monitor. And this one will go to the system. Let me grab a power cord, and I'll be back with you in a second. The monitor. I was hoping to see a green light there.
Yeah. Takes time.
Takes a bit of time. Let me turn on the computer. Yeah, without a mouse it is a bit difficult to use. Nice to see this. Oh shit, all kinds of proprietary software. Extensions Manager was very popular back in the day, but not, let me see if I remember this by heart. Command W is closing the window. No.
Are you sure the keyboard is turned on?
I don't, so I have no way of telling. So the sound that you hear is not on purpose. So the space key is sticky. It's not kept up. Yeah. So this is something I'm going to turn off. So it will require some work. So first of all, I have to find a mouse to be able to use it. And I have to clean this because Look at the space key, it is down permanently. So that's broken. The rest of the keys seem fine. And not all the keys, the 7 and 8 key are also down. Yeah. So this is going to require a couple of days of cleanup. And I will take you along as we make any, and if we make any progress on that.